Alrighty, and hello everybody. Welcome back to Doherty's Disciple. That's me. I'm Justin. I'm your host. And we're going to be talking again Carolina basketball, maybe with a little ACC basketball thrown in this time, just because it's still the off season, still not a lot of news going on. Last time you saw me was probably about a little over a week ago. And since then, I guess the big news for Carolina is Kerwin Walton decided to transfer. First, though, he decided to test the NBA waters, which was interesting to say the least. But, if you go to the Carolina message boards, you heard that there was going to be a surprise player testing the waters, and he ended up being the surprise player. I pretty much knew right when that was going to happen that he was probably going to transfer. He probably just wanted to see if he had a chance at the NBA. And I guess they said, yeah, and you'd have a better chance if you played somewhere else where you could actually see the court. Kind of a big loss for Carolina. I think people aren't really going to say that, but I think they're going to miss him. I mean, I think he could have played more this upcoming season. I mean, he's still a great shooter, whether or not, he can play defense or pass or anything else. He can still shoot the ball. So I think they are going to miss him, and he's a veteran too. I mean, other than Carolina's starters, nobody else on the bench really played any. He was really the only bench player, even though it was from 2 years ago. So they could miss him. I mean, it always sucks to lose a transfer, for sure. Although, I mean, you could have lost, I think having the starters come back is a fair trade. I mean, I would take the 4 starters coming back and losing Walton every day of the week. And I don't know any Carolina fan that would say no to that. I haven't yet heard where he's going to go. I haven't even heard any. I guess the one speculation I heard was Creighton. So we'll see about that. I mean, I guess that fits. They're a pretty decent team. He could probably start there. I could also see him going to Minnesota because he's from there. So we'll see if he decides to go there also. I think no matter where he goes, I don't really see him putting up too much. I think maybe 8 to 10 points. Probably shoot high 30, around 40% from the three-point line. So I don't really see him being a spectacular player no matter where he goes, which kind of is why I feel like he should have just stayed. But then again, he was never going to start at Carolina again. He wasn't going to start this year, or this upcoming season, and then the next year after that, he's not going to start either with the players that are coming in. So, I guess this was probably best for him because now he can go somewhere where he can actually start. But I still don't see him being a superstar. As for the NBA, I don't think that's going to happen either. I think he could play overseas. He'd probably be a good player like Israel or somewhere like that where he could just light up the scoreboard with threes. So that opened up a scholarship for Carolina. So now they do have a scholarship available. Who are they going to use it on? A lot of people want that the Matthew Mayer power forward from Baylor. I mean, sure. I mean, that's not a bad choice. He's kind of like Brady Manick. Kind of the same style, I guess. So basically, people just kind of want to recreate what we just had, which could work if, I would rather have Puff Johnson or Styles start. If we get Mayer, or whether or not we use it on a different big guy, or, you're not going to use it on a guard. Maybe you use it on a wing player maybe, but I feel like you definitely use it on a big man if you use the scholarship. But no matter who it is, I would rather see him come off the bench because I think Puff Johnson, Dontrez Styles can start at that power forward. Yeah, they might not be as big as Manick. They might not be – well, Puff might be just as good of a shooter. So, I feel like you're not going to be losing much there. But I feel like you don't need to just, plug back in what you just had. I think that would be a mistake. I think Hubert would – I think that's just would be a huge mistake on Hubert's part. And I think that would be him listening to the fans too much because – we just saw a tall white guy come in, play one season, pretty much be one of the key reasons we made the Final Four. And now we all want to see that again. But no, don't do it. If you do get that guy, bring him off the bench. No matter who you get, bring him off the bench because you're going to need a big guy, so Baycott can sit down. I mean, that's just how it is. So I think, so I'm not really for, Mayer, the Matthew guy. So I don't know. I don't see. To me, I mean, he might be the best choice. He's also got his name in the NBA ring, so he could go there also. But a lot of people are really recruiting him hard. I just don't see it, man. I really don't see it. Like, I mean, yeah, he's a great player, but is he going to be willing to come off the bench? Because that's the best choice, I think, for this team. Especially, I feel like if you don't start Styles or, you know, kind of give him minutes, I feel like he definitely transfers after the year if you don't give him minutes. And I think he should probably start the more I think about it. As much as I want Puff Johnson to start, I feel like Puff should probably be more of a bench player this year. Could start the following year, maybe as a wing player. So I like the idea of having Dontrez Styles start as your power forward because he's strong. He can kind of play on the inside. He does kind of have a jump shot. He made some 3-pointers. He's not afraid to shoot. He's tough. So I think maybe that's the choice there, the more I think about it. But anyways, that's the Carolina news. Nothing else has really happened in the last week and a half. ACC-wise overall, Clemson added a player from Boston College, Brevin Galloway. Kind of weird that he transfers inside the conference. That's kind of strange. I remember the days when that wasn't allowed, so it's still strange to me when I see it. But, hey, good get for them. Maybe that'll help him improve a little bit. The big news, State, Manny Bates goes to Butler. Man, Butler's going to be pretty good. Thad Matta coming back, built up a pretty good assistant coaches there. I mean, that's going to be a pretty good. Manny Bates is huge, man. He's 6'11". I mean, that's. He was going to be a star last year if he didn't get hurt. Greg Oden's an assistant coach there, so definitely could teach him a lot. Other than that, man, I really don't see see much else really going on. Miami, they had their one player, what's his name? Isaiah Wong, who, was talking about transferring because he's not making enough money. Yeah, very NBA-ish. The NIL not going the right way. But you had to see that coming eventually. I was surprised it happened the very first year, though. Kind of strange. But he did change his mind, and he did stick around. So, good for him, I guess. Good for him. The other big news was, Paolo Banchero getting mistaken for Patrick Mahomes at the race, the F1 race. That was pretty hilarious. I saw that, and I was like, wow, that's pretty funny. That's, good for him, though. At least he got on television, I mean, Paolo Banchero. All right. So, anyways, which brings me to Duke. John Shire's going to be their head coach. Man, great recruiting class coming in. They're going to be missing a lot of players. A lot of players left early. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I don't know how good Shire's going to be. Part of me wants to say he could do a great job, but that's not the best team he's got coming back, man. I mean, like I said, it's very inexperienced, so it wouldn't surprise me if he gets off to a bad start and you start hearing rumors of Coach K coming back. I don't see Shire lasting long. I'm so surprised they picked him. I thought they would pick somebody else. I thought if they did go in the Duke family, I thought they would pick somebody that already had head coaching experience. I honestly thought they were going to get Brad Stevens from the Celtics. I really thought that's who they were going to get because he had quit coaching the year before, was in an executive role, and plus you've just heard his name with Duke for a long time. So I really thought that was the pick. Or Nolan Smith. I thought, if they did pick an assistant, it would be Nolan Smith, but they let him go. They let him go also, so there's that. Armando Bacot's going to be in the new season of Outer Banks. Never seen the show. Couldn't tell you anything about it. I'd assume he'd play some kind of guy that helps them solve a problem. Maybe this is like Baywatch, maybe? And he just comes in and helps them like solve a crime, or maybe plays a drug dealer. I have no idea. No idea what the show's about. Couldn't tell you. It's filmed in North Carolina, though, I believe, so I should probably know it. I try to stay up to date on shows that are in North Carolina. I guess one other thing I'll talk about is some of the since Kerwin Walton did decide to transfer, it made me think of some of the past Carolina transfers. And, they've had like some big names, big names, but, they've had a lot of players transfer in the last like 15 years. I mean, you had Seventh Woods transferred in. Carolina really missed him. Nobody wants to admit it, but they did miss him. He could have brought experience that following year. Could have been an extra point guard, which they needed. He kind of put them in a rough spot, but I also can't really blame him for leaving. Although, his last year there was definitely his best year. Now I think he's on his third team now. I think he's about to go to a third team. So, his career never shaped up. You also had the Ware twins back in the day transferred. Travis and David. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, I forgot. And one of them played in the NBA. Yeah, don't really have much to say about them. They how one of them made the NBA, I have no idea. They didn't do much at Carolina. Their teammate also transferred, the one that shall not be named. Yeah, we don't name him here. Again, surprised that he transferred. I thought, his best game was his last game at Carolina, and then he just leaves in the middle of the night. Probably the biggest, I feel like one of the transfers that really hurt Carolina the most in my time, which really, I say it hurt them, but, they still won the title the next year. Alex Stevenson, transferred off the 2008 Final Four team, which I don't really blame him. I mean, Deion Thompson came in and certified himself as a starting power forward, so Alex probably wanted to start somewhere. He probably expected Hansbrough to leave, so he figured he'd step in. Then Hansbrough stayed, and it's like, well, I want to go somewhere. But I at the time, I really felt like that was going to hurt. But, man, they also had Ed Davis and Tyler Zeller coming in. So, how many big guys did Roy recruit during that period? You had Hansbrough, Deion Thompson, Stevenson, Tyler Zeller, Ed Davis, Brandon Wright also, the year before. That's insane. You had 6 quality big men in a row. I'm pretty sure, all 6 of them were 5-star, 4-star recruits. That's insane. That was a great – Roy at that point in time was the best recruiter in basketball, and the fact that he got 2 titles in 5 years, unbelievable. And really, he should have had another one a couple of years later when he had Kendall Marshall, Harrison Barnes, Tyler Zeller, Reggie Bullock, P.J. Hairston, James Michael McAdoo. Hell, that team might have been better than, the other 2 teams that did win. No, they're not better than 2009. There's no team better than that. So, as you can see, it's a pretty slow offseason so far. I'm going to try for my next episode to really get a co-host in here, and we'll kind of talk about something. I figure my next topic might be talking about, my top 5 favorite players at a certain position in Carolina history, or at least in my lifetime. I don't know if I'll go we might cut it off. It might be since 1995 maybe, because I was born in '88, so I didn't really start watching until I think the first season I really remember watching was probably '97, probably with Vince Carter and Antoine Jameson and Ed Cota, who's my one of my favorite players of all time. Which the big Twitter thing recently was, hey, who's your favorite Carolina point guard? And LeBron James even said Ed Cota. So there's that. I don't like too much about LeBron, but I do like that he said that. So congrats, LeBron, on making me respect you a little more. That's great. Glad we agree on something. So there's that. I hope you're having fun watching the NBA playoffs, which there's a couple of Carolina players playing in that. Reggie Bullock is still in for the Mavericks. They're probably going to lose to the Suns. Danny Green playing. He got hurt tonight, though. I'm doing this during the game, the Heat Sixers Game 6. He got hurt in the first quarter. It looked pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. He's probably going to be out for a while. Definitely going to be out for the rest of the playoffs because they're losing this game. So Embiid basically fell on his knee, had to be carted off. It was pretty hard to watch. I'm not sure any other. Theo Pinson's also on the Mavericks, even though he just sits on the bench. But he wore that Carolina jacket the other day during the game, so that was pretty cool. It's kind of, I don't know if there's really any more. I feel like that might be it. Cam Johnson for the Suns. Oh, yeah, how did I forget him? He's having a pretty good playoffs. They're about to probably make the Western Conference Finals again. And, he's playing a star role on the best team in the NBA, so I'm not surprised. Honestly, as I've said, he's probably the best shooter I've ever seen at Carolina. And even in the NBA, he's still a great shooter. So I'm not surprised at all that he's out there doing that in the NBA. He's going to get a large contract when his rookie deal's up. I hope he stays, with the Suns. I hope he doesn't become just a guy that just moves around, because I want to see him be like a, I think the Suns can be good for a long time, especially if some of them younger guys stay there. And him being one of them, him and Bridges. They might lose Ayton, but if you got Booker and Bridges and Johnson, that's a pretty good trio. If you can find another guard to take up for CP3, who should, if they win the title, you got to figure he retires, which I'm okay with. I'm not a big CP3 fan at all. Never liked him. He did go to Wake Forest, punched a guy in the balls one time, cost his team. Good for him. He's an idiot. He chokes in the playoffs. Yeah, don't have anything nice to say about him, really. But yeah, so that's the show for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, oh well. You still wasted your time listening. So I'm the winner here. And I hope you all have a great time. And hopefully I'm back again probably next week or sometime soon. Maybe. We'll see.